You do a lot of media stuff. What are you most passionate about?
I still love writing, even if writing in English is not the same as writing in Italian. In Italian, I just sit down and I start writing, typing, whatever. Instead, in English, I need to think about it for a second, so it's not as spontaneous as in Italian, but I still love it. And then I found out I love photography. I really like taking pictures, bringing my camera everywhere. But, anyways, I don't see it as my future job because obviously I see it more as an hobby, but it's an expensive hobby. It's not like, I don't know, going to play paddle. It's an expensive hobby. So uh, I love it. I would love it even more if I had obviously more money to buy more equipment and made it more professional. But here we're lucky because we can borrow so many equipment from the school. And I would say photography and writing are my favorite too, for sure. And everything that goes on social media, I love creating content for social media. Um, but yeah, I probably prefer to create the content to post on the social media than being the person who just click post, if that makes sense. Because in biggest team there are two different people, one that take the picture and the other one who publish the picture. And I'd rather be the one who takes it than the one who publishes it.
And are you rather the person that is in front of the picture or behind the picture?
Behind, always behind.
Okay. Interesting. Cool. Thanks even more than for talking on here and
Of
being in
course,
front.
of course.
Yeah, so you talked about that being your passion. In terms of it becoming a profession for you, what do you think, which direction interests you there the most right now?
I'm thinking about making a master um, in Europe, probably maybe in Spain. Um, there are so many masters there that are like specific to sport communication or sport journalism, and they make you do internship with important sport newspaper or important TV station that talks about sport. And so I hope to do good there and get connections there. I would love to do honestly, any side of communication. Maybe videography is the one I like the least, just because it's more time consuming. But if it was that, I would still love it. I would do whatever that is communication related.
And is it always just soccer for you or any sport?
I wouldn't mind doing another sport. Obviously, I would rather be a sport that I at least like know the rules,
Yeah.
because it would be hard to work for a sport that you need to start from zero, like learning the rules and the players and everything. My end goal is soccer for sure, but I don't mind doing other sport in the middle.
What has been your favorite project you've worked on so far in the whole theme of sports communication?
So last spring, I um, the Cup US, which is a online newspaper that talk about the US Open Cup, contacted me. Actually, contacted my coach, and then my coach contacted me because he knew I was writing articles and love sport communication, and asked me to go to the Des Moines Menace game against Union Omaha for the US Open Cup. Go at the stadium.
What is the US Open Cup?
Is uh, it's like the Italian Coppa Italia. I don't know what's the name in Germany. It's like basically teams from different leagues compete, and then there's one winner for all over the country, basically. And then the Moy Menas was playing against Union Omaha, and they asked me to be the on-site reporter. So I went there in the press box, and I loved it. It made me realize that's what I want to do. And so I was there at the game. I was taking notes, watching the game, and then at the end, I had like an hour to write an article about the game, and then they published the article on the website. So that was very exciting, and I'm still in contact with them. Sometimes they ask me to cover stories and stuff like that, even if it's not inside, that you just watch the game from home and then write an article. I didn't have a lot of time during fall, but it's definitely something I want to do again in spring. So that's for sure was my favorite thing.
Would you, in an ideal scenario, end up working in print media?
Print?
Yeah.
Not in an ideal, no.
Okay.
I can see myself doing it because right now I'm doing that in the Viewfinder magazine. I wouldn't mind it, but I'd rather work for digital media for sure.
What does that entail?
I don't know. I I just love social media. I spend so much time in social media with people may say, "Oh, that's wrong." No, it's not wrong. It's what I want to do in my life. So I have a portfolio page on Instagram, and there I follow a lot of photographers or people who just work in the environment, and I spend so much time like watching, like scrolling through their works. And obviously then I also spend time on TikTok just randomly scrolling, because who doesn't. But um I take a lot of inspiration from people that are already professional in the industry.
And how do you build your skills?
With practice, you have to do it and do it and do it again, and mess up and do it again. And here I'm lucky because there are like the two main communication professors are really good. They know what they're talking about, and they work or used to work in the industry, so they know what they're teaching, and they're very good mentors. Like, I know I can go there with any doubt, and they know the answer to my question, and that's very reassuring, because I always have somebody to count on, at least until I'm in school, I guess. But yeah, just doing over, because Adobe platforms are so hard, so you just have to mess up with them and click everywhere and find the solution to your problem. And then there are so many tutorials on YouTube. I watch so many tutorials when I have a doubt, and then I usually ask questions, because for sure you're not the only person who has the same problem. So just ask the question, and somebody will be able to answer you.
Yeah. So you often hear about the whole sports industry, which obviously includes the media side too, that it can be a very tough field, and it is often not that easy to get into it. Sometimes you're not getting paid that well. What makes you confident that you're going to find your place in there?
Oh no, I'm not confident at all. I'm not confident. But yeah, I'm in a sport and media class, and we basically, in the textbook, it was saying that the figure, like the main people who work in this industry, are like young men that are underpaid. That was pretty much the definition of a person who
Yeah.
works in this industry. And I'm not a man. I'm young, but I'm not a man. So I have some characteristics, I don't have others. But I, as we were saying about soccer, I've been in a man environment my whole life, and so I'm used to it. I'm not scared of like competing with men, but I wouldn't say I'm confident I'll find my spot in the industry. I think I'm learning a lot. I'm building a good portfolio, good experience, but still, this is not guaranteed I will find my spot in the industry. I really hope I will, but I'm not confident. And yeah, they don't pay a lot, but I think when you choose something for school, if you're lucky enough to find something that you like and it pays well, great. But there are so many times when you have to choose the dream or the money, and I chose the dream. I know so many people that don't like what they're studying, but they like the money, and so they're doing it. That couldn't be me. So I definitely chose the dream.
And you like that decision?
Yeah. I wouldn't be able to study something that I don't like, that doesn't interest in me. I'm really happy with my decision.
Thank you for listening to this episode of The World of Sports. I hope this conversation sparked your interest in sports and the people behind it. If you enjoyed this episode, feel free to share it with a friend and leave me some feedback in the comments. Once again, thanks for joining me in The World of Sports.